Stephen Hawking held the Cambridge's Location Chair of Mathematics, once held by Sir Isaac Newton. Hawking said that we need to choose between God and science, but Newton was a firm believer of God. But surely this is the 21st century. Do we really need God when we have such remarkable insights into the mysteries of the universe? Yet, a fact to consider is that more than 85% of Nobel laureates come from a Judeo-Christian background. So what do people mean by God as an explanation to reality? Professor John Lennox says that when he talked about God, he assumed that people knew he meant the God of the Bible, the intelligent, powerful creator, sustainer of the universe. However, people usually assume that it's a God of the gaps. Now, God of the gaps is an idea that suggests that if you don't understand something, you would simply attribute it to God. Like the Greeks did not understand lightning and they made a god of lightning. When Newton formulated the laws of gravity, he didn't conclude that we don't need God anymore. He rather wrote a book called Principia Mathematica, where he hoped that his calculations and observations would lead people to believing in a deity. That's because normally when we would see something beautiful or complex, we would admire the mind behind it. The more we understand painting, the more we would admire the genius of Rembrandt. So, is a scientific explanation the only rational kind of explanation? Not necessarily. If you'd ask me why the water is boiling, I would say that the heat from the flame is being transferred through the copper base of this kettle, agitating the molecules, which is causing the water to boil. Or I could just say that I need a cup of tea. Now these explanations, they do not contradict each other, but they complement each other. And both of these are required for a more full understanding of what's going on. What does science explain though? Professor John Lennox likes asking his students, what does law of gravity explain? Surely you'd say gravity. He'd say that's false. The law actually allows us to calculate the velocity needed for a rocket to escape Earth's gravitational field or to send a probe to Mars. But the law of gravity does not tell us what gravity is, only how it works. Ludwig Wittgenstein wrote, "At the basis of the whole modern view of the world lies the illusion that the so-called laws of nature are the explanations of natural phenomena. But the truth is that these laws of nature describe the universe, but they do not explain anything." C.S. Lewis sums it up by saying that men became scientific because they expected a law in nature. And they expected a law in nature because they believed that there was a lawgiver. God, therefore, does not compete with science as an explanation of the universe. God is not a scientific explanation alongside gravity, electromagnetism, or quantum mechanics. Rather, God is the reason why there's a universe governed by these intelligible laws in the first place. So, if you want to know more, please check this out by John Lennox, who is a professor of mathematics.